Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. This is live, and we're talking Canelo versus Crawford. I want to say a big thank you to those people who subscribe to the channel, those people who like the channel, those people that share videos on the channel, those people who've been on the channel for years. I want to say thank you to you, and I appreciate you all so much for your support and your love. And for those of you that tune in, give some big shout outs to a few people on my gaming. Currently running Man United. I'm rebuilding Manchester United. We're top of the league, and we are unbeaten going into the new year. So shout out to Marky, shout out to ST, shout out to sorry, Cameron. Yeah, got to give shout out to me, Marky B. Yeah, got to give you all shout outs because you've been great. And let me just connect my phone up to my power bank so I can do this live Canelo versus Crawford talk without any interruption. Right, good. So let's get into things. I have to be honest. I'm being brutally honest here. I'm sorry for the language. I don't give a shit about Canelo versus Crawford. I really don't give a shit. And you're saying, why? It's the biggest fight in boxing history. Oh, it's going to break box office records. It's going to. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I honestly don't. I think when I sit back, I think about the fact that, and I'll just give you a history about the channel for those people who don't know. I was the first person in the UK to do an interview with Terence Crawford. I did two back-to-back interviews with Terence Crawford. And by the way, it's probably two of the longest interviews that have been done with Terence Crawford. And this is before Terence Crawford became, when he fought, first he fought Breeze Prescott and before he fought Ricky Burns. At those points in time, I realised that Terence Crawford was going to be a extremely good fighter. I understood he was going to be an extremely good fighter. So, I had no doubt that Terence Crawford would be as successful as he was at welterweight, light welterweight, and being, a undisputed champion. We've had a few of them come through. Keith Thurman, Alexander Usyk, Boots in this. We've got there's loads of been on the channel. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. The list goes on and on. Dimitri Bivol. The list goes on this channel of champions. So shout out to Bud Crawford for all he's achieved in his career up to this point. Yeah. Okay. And shout out to Canelo Alvarez. Or some people call him Canelo Alvaroids, moving his way up the divisions, becoming undisputed and becoming undisputed. So congratulations to both those fighters. It's not about that. That's not the reason why I don't give a shit about this fight. The reason why I really don't give a damn about this particular fight is that the overhyping of this fight, yeah, it's just too much. It's too much, and I don't feel any. I don't feel any passion for this fight, right? There's once upon a time, right? Like when Eubank and Ben fought, Junior fought, I felt passion. I felt like yes, yes. Do you know? I felt like you're sitting on your seat. You're like, oh my god, it's about to happen. It's really going to happen. These two are going to fight. Canelo and Crawford, I'm not feeling that way. The same way if Anthony Joshua fights Tyson Fury, I just don't feel it. There's certain fights I just don't feel, and I just feel like it's just when you think about two guys collide, you think, my God, this would be a great fight when these two collide. I don't feel that with Crawford and Canelo, and I'm going to trust my spider senses on this one. Because usually, I'm right on these ones. But anyway, I just don't have that big fight vibe. Yeah, it's got all the lights and the cameras and the action, but because of the BS that's happened in years of boxing, the judging, uh, the slippery stuff going on behind the scenes in boxing, I just don't know. And there are many questions that need answering that I'd like to get answered, and I don't know if I'll get those questions answered before fight night. But these are some of my questions, or these are some of my observations. Okay, Terence Crawford is now 38 years old. Okay, um, and in the fights I've seen him in, he's been in fights with guys who have had success landing on him, but have not been able to capitalize. And he's usually been the bigger, stronger guy in there. Um, and the guys he's fought, no disrespect to them, like for example, I'm just being brutally honest. Errol Spence had two car crashes before he fought before he fought Crawford. I'm not making excuses here, right? Because I thought, even though he had the two car crashes, I thought he would beat Crawford. But my boy was damaged goods. Fair play to Crawford, got the job done, right? I've never, none of Crawford's fights I've watched and thought, you know what? He's definitely getting beat tonight. Even the Spence fight, I thought, like, yeah, Crawford could win it because Spence had the two car crashes. I've never gone into the fight thinking Crawford's gonna get beat by this guy. I've never felt that. When he fought Madronov, a light middleweight, I'm like, let me see what this. I made a comment about this year when before they fought Madronov. I said, let me see what he does at Madronov. Let's see how he does his power moves up against Madronov. Let's see how he copes with Madronov as an audition for Canelo. I said, because I knew, having spoke to Derek James, the trainer of Errol Spence at the time, before Errol Spence was going to fight Crawford, there was big talk of Spence fighting Canelo, right? That was the talk. Canelo versus Spence. However, as we know, Spence got beat and Crawford took over. And if you remember, I remember you may not remember, Crawford wasn't a big social media guy. He really wasn't a big social media guy. But he's been forced to do a whole load of media because to sell the fight to sell this Canelo fight. Because he wasn't a big media guy. He really wasn't a big media guy. He wasn't a guy you see a lot in media. But you see a lot of him now because of the fight with Canelo. He has to do these media obligations. That's not taking away anything from Crawford, but I'm explaining things to you. So he steps in as the guy because Spence was the guy to step in to fight Canelo. Didn't happen, of course. Now we all know what happened. Crawford steps up now to fight Canelo. He fights Madronov in an unimpressive performance. Now, he could have had a bad night, right? But he didn't do anything significant like stagger Madronov or really badly hurt him. And there was moments in the Madronov fight he gets hit with three straight right hands, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, if you're going to get that hit that cleanly against Madronov, what the hell are you going to do if you move up two more weight divisions against a guy who is so heavy handed? Okay. He hasn't fought in over a year. The last time he fought was against Madronov. And that to me wasn't a great performance. Now, how do you jump a year later, a year older, in the welterweight division, up to super middleweight to fight a guy who's consistently been boxing? And then you're going to go up there. You didn't do anything at light middleweight, right? But you're going to go up there like a bodybuilder. Built like a bodybuilder now. You look great on scales. You look fantastic. You're going to go up there to now fight a guy who's fought guys that are bigger and stronger than you. You're going to go up to 168 and say you're going to go for Undisputed. Okay. And I'm meant to sit here and believe that you've got the power to knock out Canelo. Yeah, I'm meant to believe that. And I'm meant to believe also that you've put some weight on. You're just going to put on some weight over a year. You're going to jump up to super middleweight like the superhero you are. And you're going to just turn up and your boxing skills are going to take over. And you're going to dominate Canelo. You're going to knock out Canelo. And you're going to be undisputed. It's going to go like that. Come on, man. Now the story's coming out. Now you got shoulder injury. So the excuse can be, if you get beat, I had the shoulder injury. When you told everybody beforehand you didn't have any injury. Now to me, you training to get to 168. So now you and Crawford and you and Canelo now are 168. When Canelo weighs in on fight night, I know he looks light. He may come in 180, 190, and you trying to make 168. Now, to me, I've never been a big, I've never had a big belief in Crawford's chin. I really haven't. I've said this for years. Now, this might be the night where it happens. I've never been a big believer in his chin. He's got great boxing ability, but boxing ability at welterweight. At super middleweight, nobody knows what he will do. If he has got a welterweight chin in a super middleweight body, and the guy he's fighting is coming down from, is coming in as a cruiserweight, hitting that welterweight chin, the fight could be over very quickly. And no matter what Crawford's skill set is, that gets wiped away by punching power. When every time the guy hits you, shaking you, every time the guy hits you, your body's rocking. What are you going to do? You've never been in that position before. Nobody knows what Crawford's going to do when he gets hit by Canelo. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And anybody who says, yeah, I know he's going to, you don't know. Even the trainer doesn't know. The trainer's hoping. Oh, I've seen him in sparring. It's sparring, mate. This is now under the bright lights. And all that stuff you've been doing at welterweight and getting away with it, being the bigger guy. Now, you're in a position with a guy who hits like a truck. And a guy who's got the experience and has fought better guys than you. This is something people are... He got beat by Mayweather. Crawford is not better than Mayweather. Crawford doesn't move like Mayweather. Crawford cannot move like Mayweather, right? He doesn't have that movement. He doesn't box like that. Crawford's a man that's going to stand in front of you. When you hit him, when you lick him one, he want to lick you too. That's Crawford because he's got big ego. That's how he's always fought. That's how he got stung by Gamboa. Because he tried to stay there for a minute and got stung. And we see what happens when Crawford gets hit and he gets hurt. He wants to trade. Even though he had stanky leg, right? He wanted to stand and trade. And you got to stand and trade against a guy who can put your lights up. Oh, no. You can't have ego in this fight. How good is Crawford? I don't know how good he is. But Madronov should give us an idea. Madronov should give us an idea. That is Madronov. That you couldn't push back. That's Madronov. Oh, yeah, but Madronov's a different skill fighter. That's Madronov. And you saw what Virgil Ortiz did to Madronov, right? You saw what Virgil Ortiz did to Madronov. Oh, well, stars make fights. Okay. Okay. Well, my thoughts are this. You are 38 years old. You're moving up 2 weight divisions, right? To a guy who's natural at the weight. And where you may have early success, and that's not even guaranteed. Because I think Canelo's going to come out like a steam train. He's going to come out like a steam train, and he's going to want to put pressure to Bud's body and to his head. Work that body, work that head, work those arms. Don't allow Bud to get into the second. People say, oh, yo, Bud gets into the second half. No, the Bud's not getting into. There's no second half of no fight. Because Canelo's going to come for him. So he's going to come to take it. With a smaller guy, you take it to them. You don't allow them to get any sort of rhythm. You hit them hard, you hit them early, you back them up, you beat them up. That's what it is. With the southpaw, you back them up, you beat them up. If Crawford's back is against ropes, it don't matter if he's southpaw or orthodox. It doesn't make a difference. Canelo's going to looking to walk Crawford down and work his body and work his head like he's never been worked before. Like he's never been worked before. He's going to hit with punches he's never been hit with before. Now, do I see a way that Crawford could cause problems for Canelo? Yes, I do. Because obviously he is the guy coming up in weight. So he'll have the natural extra speed in that sense. And he would be able to see the punches coming. So I'm thinking, well, he might be able to react and throw punches. The problem in that is that what he did at welterweight, where he had the speed and the movement to get away, if he's in round 6 and round 7 and he's got all those muscles on him, right? How does he carry the weight from round 6 to 12? where he can get out of the way of punches at welterweight. At super middleweight, it's going to be a problem. A super middleweight and the rest of it. Now, does he come in for 168 and stay at 168 for the fight? Or does he move from 168? Oh, yeah, well, Bud fought his last fight. Imagine if he was around 180 pounds. And how did he look? Not great. Not great. So you got a guy that's carrying on excess weight, worth as a guy who's used to the weight, and now he only has to fight. His fight is all about strategy, whereas Crawford's about the weight and how much weight and how physically strong he's going to be and how he's going to do super middleweight. They're all the unknowns. So Bud Crawford at super middleweight is unknown. You can't take the guy that's a welterweight and stick him up a super middleweight and expect him to do the same wonders that he did at welterweight. It doesn't happen. You stuck him up from welterweight up to like middleweight, 4 pounds or 6 pounds or 8 pounds. You moved him up. What happened? He didn't look the same fighter. He did not look against a 10-fight novice. Come on, come on, and the thing is, the reason why Crawford didn't move from welterweight to from welterweight to light middleweight to middleweight to super middleweight is because somewhere along the line must have said, look, you know what, you, that last fight was close. We don't want too many more of them. We don't want you blowing the bag. Let's take the Canelo fight next. Because that was too much. That Magno fight showed too much. Too much. Too much, and he didn't look good. So now they have to use the time. Oh, don't worry about that fight. We're on to this fight. Forget about that fight. Well, I can't forget about the fight because that fight is still in my head. That fight is still in my head. The way you were getting tagged with those shots, you weren't moving around that much. I mean, he hit Magno with 3 uppercuts, and he still looked at you and kept coming. What, Canelo's going to sit there and let you hit him? Like, oh, man, I don't like it. This guy, none of these guys are in their prime. Crawford is not in his prime. At 38 years old, how is Crawford in his prime? And Canelo's not in his prime either. I'm sorry. And you want me to be excited about this? No. Well, why should I be excited? Because they tell you should be excited. I'm not excited. Canelo's the 168 fighter. The only thing they say, the punches that knock you out, the punches you can't see. Now, if Crawford's got a way with his hand speed to catch Canelo when he throws that looping, those big hooks, he can dip under and throw shots. If he can do that, if he's got that movement, then fine. But if Crawford's legs have gone, meaning because of the weight, and he's heavy, and he can't move around the ring, and in rounds 5 and 6, he's a sitting duck, and he's tired because of the weight and the heaviness, and his legs get tired because of the sheer magnitude of the fight and the punches coming through and the body shots that he's never had to take in his whole career. I mean, Spence is not the body puncher that Canelo is. So for me, I hate to say it, but I just think that Canelo is going to stop Crawford. He's going to punish him, and he's going to stop him. And I think anything between 6 to 8 rounds, I think he gets close, he gets in, he may even lay Crawford out of one shot. He may knock Crawford out of one shot. He may knock him out of one shot. It may be one mistake, boom, good night. And he may go over not by the sheer impact of the shot, but exhaustion. That's what I feel. Canelo should have learnt his lessons from Floyd, from Lara, from Bivol. Floyd's very fast on his feet. Bivol's tall and long. Bivol's got the Eastern European style. Lara had the Cuban style, and Floyd just had his style. But I don't think Crawford's better than Floyd. I don't think Crawford is as good as Bivol. Sorry. If you think about the sort of monster puncher that Bivol's had to face, and the guys Bivol's fought, And then Lara, I don't know. Does Crawford beat Lara at light middleweight? I think it's a great fight. Does Crawford beat Charlo at light middleweight? Another great fight. Those fights I'd be more interested in seeing. But this fight, I'm sorry. It's the unknown Crawford. It's the overweight Crawford versus the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. And for that, I'm going Canelo by brutal knockout. Sorry. And I'm not. Uh, I'm going with a guy that I know rather than guesswork. And Crawford's guesswork. Nobody knows what weight Crawford comes in on the night. Nobody knows what Crawford's footwork's like on the night. Well, nobody knows how he carries the weight on the night. Nobody knows he hasn't fought for a year, how sharp he's going to be. Nobody knows what's going to happen when Canelo lands the first real big punch on Crawford's chin. I mean, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Do you know? I don't know. But there's experts that seem to know how he's going to take the punch, how he's going to last 12 rounds. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to take the first real solid punch on the chin or to the body. I don't know. I don't know. Or if not the first punch, I don't know how he deals with the first shootout. I don't know. I don't know. Speed of punch is what Crawford may have at his advantage. And if there's going to be any trouble for Canelo, it's because of the speed of the punch. But again, how long that lasts for, I don't know. Once he starts catching Crawford in the arms and the shoulders, and he just starts hitting anything, Canelo's coming out like a steam train for this fight. Don't worry about them other fights. He's coming like a steam train. That's my thoughts. But let's see. Crawford's daring to be great. I don't know, people. I don't know. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Enjoy the fight.